Hi everyone, and welcome to Hosting with Susanna, where I help you create beautiful parties and fun gatherings without all the stressful planning. Today we're making my dill shredded hash browns with hard-boiled quail eggs for your Easter brunch. I love hash browns. They have always been my favorite side dish at breakfast time, so I knew that I wanted to incorporate them into the Easter brunch menu, but I wanted to give them a spring flavor profile, and so I decided to do that with dill because I just love dill. For me, dill says springtime. It has such a earthy, vibrant, fresh garden taste to it, and so I decided to incorporate it into this recipe and in several other recipes throughout the brunch menu. So here's what you're going to need to get started.
2.5 cups of frozen shredded hash browns, 4 tablespoons of olive oil, half of a yellow onion thinly sliced, 4 to 6 hard-boiled quail eggs.
And we're just going to top off our hash browns with these quail eggs at the end because we want to create this beautiful presentation for our guests where our hash browns are going to look like a little nest in an egg cup, and then we're just going to top it off with one of those quail eggs to create a little nest with an egg look.
1 teaspoon of dried basil, a half a teaspoon of garlic salt, and 1 tablespoon of fresh dill that's been finely chopped.
And the reason that we're using fresh dill but dried basil is because I really wanted the dill to be the star flavor of this dish. So I wanted to have another herb in there, but I wanted it to be more subtle and more of just an undertone, which is why we're using dried basil instead of fresh. So to start out, we're going to heat up 1 tablespoon of olive oil in a skillet over medium heat. And now we'll add our frozen shredded hash browns and our thinly sliced onions. And then just mix those onions in with the hash browns so you don't just have a clump of onions. And then we're just going to spread out the onions and hash browns so that they just make a thin layer at the bottom of your skillet. Now we'll go ahead and add those
remaining 3 tablespoons of olive oil.
And then just try to evenly drizzle the olive oil all throughout the onions and hash browns. And now we'll add our dill. And again, just try to evenly distribute that around. Our basil and our garlic salt. And then we just want to cook this for 5 to 10 minutes until the bottom of our hash browns are a light golden brown. And one quick little tip about cooking frozen shredded hash browns is make sure that you go straight from frozen to cooking them. Don't let them thaw because then they might get mushy and lose their shape and texture. And then once they're a light golden brown at the bottom, you can go ahead and flip them. And now we'll just continue to cook these for about another 5 minutes. And then we'll just fill our egg cups with our hash browns. And then we're just going to top them off with a cute little quail egg, and it's going to look like a little nest. Let's go ahead and give them a try. They are so good. And I just love that vibrant dill flavor. And if you want, you can peel your hard-boiled quail egg. It's up to you. It obviously makes it more convenient for your guests so they don't have to peel it themselves. I, however, personally like the aesthetic look of presenting it to your guests with the shell still on, because I personally feel like quail shells are just so beautiful with their speckles, and then I think it just looks more like a real nest with the shell still on. So it's up to you however you prefer to serve it to your guests. I hope you and your guests enjoy, and I'll see you next time.